What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy CB, and we are back for my favorite segment on the channel, a watch along with a recruit. On today's episode, for you guys that love offense, and especially for you guys that love receivers, I got a treat for you. Four-star receiver in the 2026 class, one of the smoothest and just natural receivers that you will see, route running crisp, but the ball skills, the ability to pluck the ball out the air, make contested catches, and after the catch, just absolute dynamite. But you don't want to hear me tell it. You want to hear him tell it. Hailing from one of the baddest high schools in high school football in the entire country. 2026 four-star receiver from Chaminade-Modonna and Auburn commit, Denairius Gray. What's happening, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
How's your off season going so far, man?
Off season going good. We've been working lately. We getting back to work for the off season, the coaches and the players, and we getting back to it. Trying to win the national championship this year.
So before we get into the film, the committing, let's take it back to last year real quick. Y'all are coming off a fantastic year, not just for that offense, for everyone in every offensive room. Y'all came into this season with a goal. I had Chris Ewald on, and he said even y'all kind of decided to cut down on some of the celebrating coming into this year. Y'all wanted to be a bit more business-like. How was this year from start to finish for that Chaminade team, going in with a goal and then accomplishing that goal?
It felt really good because we worked hard all summer. Work hard all summer. And it really paid off. Our coaches pushed us to be the best person we could be on and off the field, and it really just paid off at the end. So.
And it shows. Y'all play so disciplined. Chris kept saying, he was like, Chaminade football. And you hear that term a lot. So I want to ask you, when you hear that term, Chaminade football, what does it mean to you?
It means that the players of Chaminade, we have pride in what we do. We don't like losing. We don't lose. And we all we leave everything on the field every time we play. So
it's almost the exact way he described it.
Yeah.
He was like, it's pride, it's a brotherhood, and it's giving everything. Like literally, and I didn't even tell you before this, and this is what Chris said. That is exactly how he described it. So you could tell, and he's on a complete other side of the football. But that message from the top clearly comes from the top and goes on down. You come from one of, if not the most talented receiver room you could assemble on a video game or in a high school locker room, from top to bottom. And it's not just JJ and JoJo, who everybody knows. It's also you. It's also Kyle Washington, 4-star. It's also Lewis, 4-star. Absolute slasher, can do it all. What was it like being in that receiver room, not just this year, but the previous years? And how much have you grown being around other elite receivers?
I grown a lot because when you're learning from the best and being coached by the best, it's really gonna pay off in the future. We all push each other. We all compete every day in practice. So, I feel like we all got way better being around the best of the best every single day, and iron sharpens iron. So that's really what it is.
What was it like? For those of us on the outside, when y'all when y'all go to the huddle and coach say, all right, it's gonna be JJ, JoJo, you, Kyle, we gonna put 5 in the slot, and that defense don't got a prayer. When y'all break that huddle, bro, I would imagine, because the way CJ distribute the football, it looked like he played no favorites. So when y'all break that huddle as a receiver, what's that mindset like? Not just being a receiver, but being a Chaminade receiver.
It's really, you can't be selfish when you're on a team like that. That's the last thing we could be. Our coaches tell us we can't be selfish because everybody's gonna get the ball. That's really what it is. You can't be selfish in that. Everybody do their job, blocking, running your right route, because if the route ain't for you, it's for the next man to get open. And being disciplined. Then being disciplined on your routes and blocking and not being selfish. So that's really what it is.
And you see it. Y'all be out there four wide, all 4 y'all running a me route. Like it's all 4 y'all running a I know I'm not one in the progression route, but I'm one. on this play.
Yeah.
I know in my head at least, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give the DB like I'm one in the progression. And
Yeah.
you see that across the board.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the biggest thing you learned from being around veterans like JoJo and JJ who have seen so much football over the years? What would you say is your biggest takeaway from having those guys as mentors in the locker room?
Um, I'll say having a great work ethic. They always love working. They want to work 24/7 all the time, and I'm always down to do it with them. Uh, that's one thing I could say I could take away, having a great work ethic, because they love the
And
work and it pays off.
that's that. I always say you could be a 4 or 5 star, but when you mix that
Mm-hmm.
with 4 star work ethic too,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the sky's the limit there. That's how the young man that is a 4 becomes a how was he ever not just top in his class? When you see him his sophomore year in college, you like,
Mm-hmm.
bruh, it's the stuff you do when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
And I follow you. I see the work. What I do love though is you're not as much on social media as
Yeah.
as most recruits and most
Mm-hmm.
players. Is that just your discipline, your when you're outside of football, you're still
Mm-hmm.
either working on football, watching film. How much is the outside of what Shamanon asks important to your game and development?
I really take this stuff like really serious, so I'll say the majority of it is most of my time. I really don't be on social media as much as others. I feel like sometimes it really could be a distraction at times, so I choose to spend my time on other stuff that's for the better.
More
So
productive.
yeah, more productive. Yeah.
Speaking of your time,
Hmm.
you had a fantastic sophomore season, not just on the
Hmm.
field, but in recruiting as well.
Yeah.
Skyrocketed up the rankings. Like I know, obviously, when you were younger, they don't rank you yet.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure in the back of you knew, like, okay, I'm at the camps. I kind of know where I'm gonna be.
Hmm.
But this year, again, as someone that follows you, it's offer,
Yeah.
offer, offer, offer.
Hmm.
How is it balancing that with what we started with? There was a goal to start the season. It was
Hmm.
state championship, #1 ranked. How is it balancing trying to accomplish that team goal with your visits and obviously everyone wanting a piece of Denairius Gray if they can get
Hmm.
him?
I want to thank my coaches for that, because most of the time they handle that for me at times. They talk to most of the coaches for me. I still have a relationship with some of the coaches, but I want to appreciate my coaches for being there for me, helping me with that. So yeah, that's what I could say on
That's
that.
it's I love that staff keeps y'all grounded too. That
Hmm.
you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
this way you don't have to sit there and go, man, did I message this coach back? Did I talk to this?
Yeah.
Do I say no if I don't want to go this weekend because we got a
Hmm.
big game? I love that your coach can be that buffer and just give you that
Hmm.
advice too. Like, hey, I talked to him,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Hmm.
This way you can focus and keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
Now the main thing ended up turning up being a fantastic program in Auburn that is
Hmm.
doing great things under Hugh Freeze.
Hmm.
What was it about Auburn that made you go so early in your process
Hmm.
that's the home for me?
The main thing I'll say, my main was Coach Marcus. Coach Marcus Davis. He's a real great coach. I know him personally, so that's really what it was. He's been recruiting me since I was a freshman, and
Whew.
like we just been building that relationship since I was at my old school. So that's really what I could take away from that. So me and Coach Marcus, have a great relationship. He's from the same city where I'm from. He lived in the same neighborhood, so that's really what it is for me. My relationship with Coach Marcus.
How big obviously as a receiver, you want to have that relationship with your
Hmm.
receiver coach.
Yeah,
Obviously that's
mhm.
everything,
Yeah,
right?
that's a huge thing.
And he can relate to you on a different level.
Hmm.
I played in them parks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Hmm.
I went to that Foot Locker to get them shoes. Like
Yeah.
he can relate to you in a different way.
Hmm.
What was it like getting to see that team in person, going to watch that offense? Because it's one thing watching them from home, but you get to see
Hmm.
it on the field. What was it
Hmm.
like getting to see that Auburn offense in person and picturing yourself in it?
Hmm. Every time I went, I had a great experience. I'll say, at least 3 to 4 times. Every time I went, I always had a great experience. It's always high energy. It's a great atmosphere, and they throw the ball. That's really
Yeah.
what it is. They throw the
Yes,
ball,
they
so
do.
I see myself fitting in well when I get there. So
I
yeah.
think so too. I think they like spreading the ball out. They like pushing the ball
Mm-hmm.
down the field. And
Mm-hmm.
for those of y'all that are like, all right, well, if they like pushing the ball down the field, is he the kind of yes? Don't even finish the
Mm-hmm.
question. Yes. When you see the skill set, then you look at Auburn's offense and you go, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the competition Denairius plays in high school. And it's not just who he plays at Chaminade. Elite DBs you play in 7-on-7 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the SEC, you're used to that competition.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, the competition you got every week
Mm-hmm.
with KJ on the outside and Ewald on the outside. And this past year with
Mm-hmm.
dealing with Zaquan and
Mm-hmm.
Curtis out there, like
Yeah.
going to the SEC, I'm not saying I'm not saying the SEC is easy for anybody. I'm saying you're
Mm-hmm.
used to competing. So when
Yeah.
somebody says, "Oh, the SEC," Darius is thinking, "Bro, that's
Mm-hmm.
every day. Like my
Yeah.
my
That's
whole life
yeah.
is competing, bro. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
6 dogs in the receiver room. Like even if I cook this DB and get open, it still might not be me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you're used to competing. And for those of you that have not seen the tape, it speaks for itself. One thing I do like about you at Chaminade, all you guys, they move you around so much, slot,
Yeah.
outside. How much do you enjoy getting to do just a little bit of everything?
It makes me a more better player and a more versatile player to be able to play outside in the slot. So that I feel like that helped my game out better. That helped my game out more, being more versatile as a player. So
Do you feel like it made being on the outside a little bit not easier, but it made more sense to you after you started working inside the hashes a bit more?
mhm. Yeah, at my old school I played mostly outside. I didn't play in the slot at all. So moving here, it made it was a lot easier for me from transitioning from outside to inside because um I got two of the best receivers out there, so it really made my job a lot easier, and I got like more help. And it's like playing in a slot, you have more time and more space with your routes and what you're doing. So I feel like that was a big difference, and it helped me be more
Have
versatile.
you Have you always been a just a touchdown machine? What is it about when Chaminade get in the red zone? CJ's just like we're 13
Yeah,
down. Like what?
yeah.
Like on a
Hmm.
play like this again. Now, when you watch this, when I say everybody ran their route before we get back to his route, JoJo also tried to be one on this play. That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
Hmm.
I mean, like JoJo knew I'm not wanting the progression, but he'd
Hmm.
be damned if he don't run that route.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
you the exact same way. But the red zone finesse, the footwork, the ability to create separation in such a short space. What is it about the red zone that you seem to thrive even more so than you do on a normal occasion and you
Hmm.
thrive there too, but in the red zone, it just seems like you and CJ had a special connection this year.
Yeah, that's what I could say. Me and CJ worked all all summer, and like that's really what it was. Just like red zone threat. Uh, and yeah, that's what I could say.
And
Yeah.
then on a play like this, beautiful back shoulder. That's rehearsed. That's
Hmm.
he knew exactly if I put this ball back here, he know what's up.
Hmm.
Like that is 100% just work in the off season. That connection y'all had with CJ this year. I have heard from even your own receivers. Y'all don't
Hmm.
have to talk to each other to give signals.
No.
Talk to
No.
bruh. You have any the DB's already worried.
Hmm.
Now y'all out here talking telepathically.
Hmm.
Talk about the work that goes into being able to on a Friday, and he know exactly because on the surface that looks like oh they communicate, but work you got to put in the work for that. So talk to about how much
Yeah.
work that went into what we see turn into a fantastic sophomore season.
I told CJ when I first got there straight up, we finna work every single day after practice until we get this connection right. So that's really what it was. I told him when I got there, cause like when I first got there, our connection really wasn't there. So I told him, yeah, every day until we play the West, the opening season, and that's what we did, and that's what it's showing. It's paid off.
The work clearly paid off.
Hmm.
Do you have a favorite route you like to run? Because we do see you do a little bit of everything. Do you have a favorite that when it's called, you like?
Well, at Chaminade, my favorite route to run was slot fade. Just a go ball. That's really what it is.
And he had the ball placement on those fades
Mm-hmm.
that was just insane.
Yeah.
And then the other side of your game. So we see you being able to work in the slot, work the middle of the field,
Mm-hmm.
red zone threat, fade balls, contested catches. Then this part of your game, you got to scoot like a 5'7", a buck 50 receiver out the
Yeah.
slot
Mm-hmm.
with the ball in your hands. You used to play any running back?
Nah, I ain't play running back. Nah.
So this is just this just nice for the sake of being nice with the ball in your
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
What is it about y'all? Because you, Kyle, Joe, y'all all got this on these screens, on these jailbreaks.
Mm-hmm.
When they get the ball in y'all's hands, it's like y'all just see the end zone bigger than everything else.
Yeah.
How much do you enjoy these situations?
Man, I love them plays, man. And like I'm the type of person that I love to see like on these type of plays, if I get the ball the next play, I'm gonna want to block and see my teammate get the ball and do the same thing I did. So I'm a really unselfish player and like I like being in those situations. So
Y'all be running 40 yards down the field to block for each other.
yeah.
There's highlights of it, of
Yeah.
not just the touchdown, it's
Mm-hmm.
somebody else running 40 yards, a 4-4 down the sideline just
Yeah.
to block.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see you here on this next play working in the slot. This is working to get open
Mm-hmm.
and beautiful communication. You break this route off. CJ does not question it for a second where you're going. He immediately knows it and hits you.
Yeah.
How much are things like this rep, the scramble drill, the ability to create when there's nothing there?
We have a session for that in practice. We have a scramble drill session. And it's really just like what's the right word for this? I say it practice. I don't know if
Just
that's really the right
repping
word.
it over
Yeah,
and
that's
over and
really
over.
yeah, that's really what it is. Yeah.
To the point where when CJ rolls out, y'all are all thinking the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see
We all on the
your
same level.
favorite route from the slot here, your slot fade.
Mm-hmm.
What I loved about the connection you have with him is this DB was wrong no matter what he did.
Yeah.
Because you get the separation on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he puts the ball in the back pylon, it's over the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a touchdown. If CJ decides to throw the back shoulder, you can't defend that kind of ball placement. I love that y'all have that versatility as receivers when y'all do run a fade like this. Everything don't have to be treetop Randy Moss. He
Mm-hmm.
also has that faith in y'all. Let me put this on his back hip and knows you're gonna spin around and make that catch. Now I know you like doing the underneath stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
bro, as a vertical threat, does it take
Yeah.
you back to just being the guy on the outside when you just get to push the ball down the field like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. That's really what. Yeah.
How much are you looking forward to? Obviously, y'all are gonna continue to do a little bit of everything, but how much are you
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to getting back on the outside a little bit more so you can do a little bit more of this?
That's probably what I'm gonna do this year. Most likely, we're gonna be playing both. Everybody can play inside and outside, so I'm gonna be playing what's best for the team. So I'm not the type of person to say, "Oh yeah, I want to play just outside." I'm the type of person to whatever's best for the team, whether it's outside or slot. So I'm really just here to win. So
And you spoke about
yeah,
obviously y'all's goal is to win. Y'all's goal is a national championship next
mm-hmm.
year.
Yeah,
Y'all are losing two of the best receivers I
mm-hmm.
think the state of Florida has ever seen.
Yes,
But the mentality at Chaminade is like I don't think any of y'all are thinking woe is me. None of y'all are thinking
nah,
where does that mentality come from? Obviously, it comes from the coaching staff. Shout out some of
mm-hmm.
those coaches that instill that
Yeah,
toughness in y'all,
mm-hmm.
that mentality where we could lose two 5-star receivers, a 4-star quarterback, but for y'all, the goal is not changing. The mission has
Mm-hmm.
not changed.
Yeah.
Who are
Shout
some of
out
those
to
coaches that instill that?
Coach Rowe for sure, Coach Jones. They just teach us not to be selfish. If you selfish on the team, you're really not gonna fit in here, and and that's really what it is. Nobody on the team is selfish. We always want to win. That's the main goal. We put the team before ourselves anytime, every time. So that's really what the coaches instill in us, for sure.
This next highlight, bro. Every time I see a receiver put blocking on his highlight tape, I get so happy. Because
Yeah,
it's the little things, right? You spoke about it earlier. It's not always my highlight. It's sometimes
yeah.
it's my job to help somebody else get a highlight.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it to stress those little things as a receiver? Blocking, footwork, always running the correct route, running the routes. You see this here. This is Kyle's play. But you
Mm-hmm.
gonna block 100% like you a left tackle out here.
Yeah.
Speak to how important that is. Being your brother's keeper and being just as good of a blocker as you are a route runner.
It's really important because the little things really count. The little things really matter the most. So that's really how I am as a person. That's how really everyone is in our receiver core on offense and all. Where nobody's selfish, and the main goal is to really win. And we do that by all means. So if I gotta put my body on the line to block for my teammate, that's what I'm gonna have to do.
And y'all see y'all block, and it's not just like out here stock blocking. Like I said, y'all out here like left tackles. Like, nah, my boy got to score on this.
Yeah.
I love that attention to detail. You look at an offense like this, and you probably think, man, they got all them stars over there. It's a roster full of divas, and
Yeah.
it's not. It's a roster full of dogs. It's a
Mm-hmm.
roster full of. It's like a brotherhood. Y'all have created
Yeah.
a brotherhood over there. It's almost like y'all don't care about the rankings,
Yeah.
like it, because anybody can score anybody's day on any given Sunday, any given
Mm-hmm.
Friday. It can
Yeah.
be anybody's day. To
Mm-hmm.
me, that's what makes y'all special.
Mm-hmm.
Is when the 4-star Denairius Gray, who is a one on any roster,
Mm-hmm.
can say, "Man, this ain't even my highlight."
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I'm gonna make sure 3 get his. I'm gonna make sure 5
Mm-hmm.
get his. And they don't, not because I'm getting mine, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's my job on this play to block. I'm
Yeah.
not blocking so that he throw me the ball next. I'm
Mm-hmm.
blocking because they called a jailbreak screen.
Mm-hmm.
I like that y'all have that focus though, that because that's what winning is. Winning is
Yeah.
everybody doing their job. It's not as easy as it sounds,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why I always commend y'all's coaching staff, because that's from the top to the bottom, from seniors to the freshmen. It seems like y'all all take pride in
Mm-hmm.
everything you do at Chaminade.
Yeah. And that's really what it is.
So for you as a receiver,
Mm-hmm.
are there receivers in the league or receivers in college you like to watch, to not steal from, but you take a little bit from here and there? Is
Yeah.
there someone you like to watch that you like to model your game on?
I watched a couple receivers. In college, I watched Marvin Harrison Jr. for
It's a
sure.
bad boy.
In the league, I like watching route runners because I feel like that's gonna be my strong suit because I could go up and get the ball. So I definitely want to get better at route running. I like watching Deontay Johnson. He's
One of
probably
the best.
one of the best route runners. Stephon Diggs. Um, and yeah,
Deontay's footwork is
yeah,
crazy.
it's really smooth route runner. That's why I love watching this film.
That's
So
another
probably
thing
them three.
for y'all. A lot of y'all receivers at Chaminade, y'all got really good footwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shout out y'all's receiver coach,
Yeah,
because when
shout out
y'all
Coach
see,
D, man.
bro, when y'all be going to these camps and y'all be doing
Yeah.
these one-on-ones, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, the footwork, y'all out here doing basketball crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, these boys, bro, shout out that receiver coach.
Yeah, shout out Coach D. He pushed us every day, all day. I call him all the time to go get work anytime. So yeah, I appreciate him. He pushed us all the time. He wants to compete. He loved that we compete, and he wanted to be the best on and off the field. So,
Bro,
yeah.
hey, shout out to you, bro. I don't know what you got in that playbook over there for receivers, but hold it tight and don't let nobody else see that thing.
Yeah.
Because, bro, the footwork be crazy. I'm like, how he get athletes that's always been him to buy into the little things, like being explosive out of your breaks, not putting your hands up to the last second, blocking, get your hands inside. Like he get athletes that you would think don't want to hear that to do the things that guys without y'all skills have to do. So I gotta shout him out for that, because
Yeah.
obviously he gets y'all to buy in and he demands excellence out of y'all, and y'all repay him with the highlights we just
Producing.
saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before I let you go, there's something I do got to ask about. 7-on-7. It is
Mm-hmm.
huge
Mm-hmm.
in Florida. How much does 7-on-7 help you evolve as a receiver?
7-on-7 plays a huge part. Working on timing, routes, running routes, dissecting a defense, knowing coverages. So that's what I can say. And it helps us recruiting too. 7-on-7 plays a
Yeah.
huge part in recruiting. So college coaches do look at 7-on-7, and yeah, 7-on-7 does play a huge part in football for sure.
And say it. You play on a ridiculous squad. Go ahead,
Yes,
shout your
sir.
squad out. It don't
DEFCON,
make no
man.
sense.
Yeah, DEFCON. I've been playing with DEFCON since freshman year, and that's the team I'm rocking with. Shout out to my coaches, Coach Aaron, Coach Chris, Coach Zay, Coach Showtime at DEFCON. So that's the team I'm rocking with.
Y'all 7-on-7 teams out there, the rosters don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You look at a 7-on-7 roster in South Florida and you be like, if that's a recruiting class, somebody winning a national championship. Like if you just like you look at DEFCON Raw SFE, if you just get the players on that team alone, you got a dynasty. So I had to throw that in there because I'm in Texas, so sometimes people from other regions will be like, hey, why is 7-on-7 such a big deal there? Because it's the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
And in South Florida, the crazy part is you'll go out to a 7-on-7 game and it be some dude that's not ranked that run a 4.3 that could give you the business and have you thinking, who is that dude?
Yeah.
And rivals don't know him yet.
Yeah.
So it is the talent level there is just insane. And you see the development from the receivers and the DBs and the quarterbacks that do play 7-on-7 out there. So I was like, I got to give him a chance to shout out his squad because you could tell the development comes from different avenues. It comes from obviously your coaching at Chaminade, the work you do outside on your own, and the extra work in 7-on-7 as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, I think I speak for everyone that, well, ain't nobody watching this that don't know who you are. We can't wait to see what's going to happen next year for y'all on that field. I know I speak for everybody in the comments that's like, we cannot wait to see what this team looks like next year. It's not a rebuild, it's a retool. Y'all just reshuffling. And that same goal obviously is on all of y'all's mind. We all pulling up next year to see how it turns out. And after next year, when you have these numbers doubled, we're gonna bring you back so we can watch your junior season together. And we could all the stuff we like, man, we want to see him on the outside more. So when we see you on the outside, we're like, see, he was on the outside cooking boys this year. We told y'all he was still going to do a little bit of everything. But in the meantime, let them know where they can follow you on Instagram and Twitter so that they can keep up with you throughout the season.
Instagram is Denairius Gray _, and on my Twitter it's exclusive_1. XKLVSIVE _.
I'm gonna link all of that in the description. I'm gonna link the Twitter in the description because somebody gonna butcher it and they're gonna be DMing me. I'm gonna link his Instagram, his Twitter, and his huddle in the description as well, because you're gonna watch this and think, all right, I want to see some more of them plays. Go ahead. It's in the description, and go follow Denairius Gray. Bro, I wish you nothing but success next year. Obviously, you still got 2 more years to turn up and to probably break some records. And obviously, I know I speak for the entire Auburn fan base when I say I know they through the moon and cannot wait to see what you do when you get there. So shout out to War Eagle. Shout out to that fan base. Shout out to Coach Freeze, man, for getting an absolute monster.
War Eagle.
War Eagle. Like, share, and subscribe. Go follow Denairius right now.